Hmm.
Alright guys, in today's video we have some more PlayStation news and information to go over and talk about. I'm going to get right into it, but before I do, I'm going to ask you to please leave the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification icon as well if you haven't already done so. But we're starting here on the official PlayStation blog. They put out a new post today titled PSVR Spotlight Kicks Off Today. Now, we don't normally talk about VR too much here on the channel, but the real reason I'm highlighting this is because they do briefly mention the PlayStation 5, and unfortunately, if I am reading this correctly, it is some incredibly disappointing news if, again, I am reading it correctly. So let's go over what it says. It says, hey all, over the next few days, we're going to spotlight some upcoming games coming to PlayStation VR, including some announcements and updates for previously revealed PSVR titles. It kicks off today, and we'll have further updates to share each day at the same time through to Friday. And as mentioned, this is all about the games. So to manage expectations, there will be no PS5 related news. So this is great for VR, obviously, but I'm going to be completely honest right now when I say this is not what we want to hear right now, Sony. I do appreciate them managing expectations. Now, I could be reading this wrong, but the way I'm reading this is because this is something that's going to last all week, all the way up until Friday. They make that clear. They're saying not to expect any PlayStation 5 related news or announcements. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that Sony will not be talking about the PlayStation 5 at all for the remainder of the week. However, I can't help but read it any other way. I mean, if this was the case, if they did plan to talk about the PS5 to some capacity officially this week, I feel like there would be no reason for them to say this. Now, they could just be saying this to specifically point out that when they are talking about VR, don't expect anything related to the next version of PlayStation VR or PlayStation VR related to the PS5 in any way, shape, or form. That could be what they're trying to say, but I don't know, man. It's really seeming to me like this is Sony's subtle way of trying to let everybody know, because surely they are well aware of just how, just how tired people are getting of waiting for something. This seems to be their subtle way of just letting everybody know not to expect anything official this week. Now, I won't lie to you, this is pretty upsetting if it's true. I was really holding out some hope that there would be something official coming from Sony about the PS5 this week. But if there's one thing this makes pretty clear, again, if I'm reading this correctly, it makes it crystal clear that Sony is not, I repeat, not going to go first. They will wait as long as it takes for Microsoft to go first. Something tells me Sony would be willing to wait until the last week if they had to before the launch of the console, if need be, if Microsoft still doesn't go. So at this point, I'm going to say that I'm not really hoping for Sony to talk about the PS5 as much as I'm now hoping that Microsoft will talk more about the next gen Xbox consoles in some way, shape, or form, because the sooner Microsoft goes, the sooner Sony is going to go. It's getting absolutely ridiculous, and this really doesn't help the situation at all. So yeah, I know it's not the news we wanted to hear. It's not the news we were hoping to hear today, but either way, I thought you guys should know about this. Something tells me that this is actually going to fly under the radar for most people, which is another reason why I'm highlighting it, because there's going to be people, waiting all week eagerly, hoping for something. But it seems pretty clear to me, if I'm reading it right, that Sony's saying, look, we're not doing anything PS5 related this week. So moving on from that, we're talking about an upcoming PlayStation 5 exclusive, that game being Returnal. This is the game that Housemarque is currently developing. It's a game I'm actually pretty excited for. I think it looks really good, but we may have a release window pinned down for this game, surprisingly, because a lot of people have been asking me, do I expect Returnal to be a launch title? it does kind of seem like it's one of those titles that could be there at the launch of the PS5, but it's hard to say. I mean, they did show off a lot in the trailer for it, but other than that, we really don't have anything to go off of. I mean, the PlayStation 5's launch lineup is already looking pretty good as is. It says here, Housemarque's upcoming PS5 game Returnal looks to be releasing next year after the game was revealed back in June. The news, which emerged from someone's LinkedIn page found by Bogorad222, details Returnal as a 2021 game. Whilst this isn't confirmation, the game will definitely release next year, especially as CV is still affecting countries all over the world. It looks like Housemarque is currently planning to drop its biggest project in 2021. So I think this makes a lot of sense. I think this is most likely the closest thing we can get to something official. It says on this individual's LinkedIn page that's involved with the game that it's going to be releasing in 2021. And again, this makes a lot of sense to me. Returnal doesn't seem like the type of game based off of what we've seen so far of it. Although if you think about it, and this is kind of weird because I'm just thinking of this now, I was going to say we haven't seen all that much of it, so I guess it makes sense that it wouldn't be at the launch of the PS5. What about Spider-Man though? Like, we've seen actually so little of Spider-Man. We've seen more of Returnal than we have of Spider-Man. So for me to say that it wouldn't make sense for it to be a launch title based off of what we've seen, that doesn't make sense. So if anything, this maybe is letting us know that Returnal is a game that's set to launch sometime in 2021. Now, if I had to guess, I don't think it would be late 2021. I think it would be within the first half of 2021. Either way, I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait for some official information. But one last thing I do want to run by everybody here before I end the video has to do with PlayStation 5 pre-orders once again, because we have a retailer in the UK. They are called Simply Games. They have actually put out emails letting us know what to expect when it comes to PlayStation 5 pre-orders. It says, make sure you are first in line to pre-order the PlayStation 5 by registering your interest now. We are expecting the PlayStation 5 to be available for pre-order any day now, and you don't want to miss out on the next generation of gaming. The PlayStation 5 may not go on general sale due to limited stock, so the only way to hear about when you can pre-order is by registering your interest. You'll also be the first to hear about any announcements, updates, and most importantly, when you can pre-order your PlayStation 5 console. So a lot of information there, and honestly, something interesting about this email, and I think it's kind of telling. I know that there's a lot of people who may think I'm reading too much into it, but I don't think I am. You guys know that we just recently talked about how some insiders are saying that Sony was planning something this week, but at the last moment, their plans once again changed. Now, if you read this email, especially the timing of it, it says we're expecting PS5 pre-orders to go live any day now. It's almost like the retailer themselves were expecting PS5 pre-orders to go live sometime this week, not later in September, thus why they are sending out the emails saying this. Although it could just be their wording, I could just be reading into it too much, but they're making it clear that there's going to be very, very limited availability. It sounds like retailers may only get enough to just, give them to people who pre-order it. They're even saying here that the console may not go on general sale due to how limited the stock may end up being. So this is pretty crazy, and it's a very interesting email, pretty much letting you know, look, you gotta pre-register and you gotta be notified as soon as pre-orders go live, and you gotta be quick, because if you're not, you might be waiting to get your hands on a PS5. I don't think anybody within the first couple weeks, possibly even, dare I say, months of the PS5's launch will be able to walk into a retail store and just grab one off the shelf and check it out. I don't think that's going to happen. It seems like that might not be a reality until sometime in 2021. So yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going on, guys. I really hope that we get something this week. At this point, I don't even care if it's official PS5 news. I'm desperate for Xbox news at this point because, again, the sooner we get Xbox news, the sooner Sony's going to start talking more about the PS5 and telling us all of the information that we are desperately hoping to hear now and not, later on in September or even possibly in October. So that does it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. If you did, again, leave it a like. Leave your comments and your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.